Hello and welcome to the Sweaty and the Farmer and the Game Design, where we sell the cheapest watermelon houses in the market, delivered straight to wherever you are. Live in luxury with watermelon SF&GD housing. Life as wet and as sweet as it can be. This is episode number 32. Social things and big events. I am the Lone Name Gamer as the Sweaty.
And I am Lucho the Farmer. Thanks for joining us in this episode. This week we keep social distance while fighting big monsters.
Oh my god. But before that, let's take a look at this week's news. On the docket we have Destiny 2 finally getting transmogs, and more Destiny 2 news with microtransaction and rewards modifiers for the next big change. And finally, the next big content drop of Warframe gets postponed, I think, for next year. So, what is happening in the Destiny thing? All these things bring to you by Lucho. Tell me about it.
I just saw this news. It's apparently an interview that one of the game developers gave about a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And he mentions that for year 4, Destiny is finally getting, like, all your armor will somehow become like universal ornament.
Yeah.
Which is basically a transmog system.
Yes.
Finally, after
years and years of people requesting for it.
Including complain about it.
Yeah, including us. We are including this in this transmog battle / complain / please, what are you doing? Because one of the biggest complaint for us was that we cannot play fashion frame on Destiny, right?
I mean, yeah, it's like no matter what your opinion of Destiny is, it is an RPG game at some level.
Yeah.
And a big portion of RPGs is dress up.
Correct. Yeah, customizing your character, making your guardian feel your own, or your guardians feel your own. Feel like you're putting your unique touch in whatever character you're represented in game.
Yeah,
it's very important.
And you shouldn't be restricted by, this is the look of the build that I have.
Yes.
That feels bad. Like, that doesn't look badass at all.
Yes, correct. And like with some of the recently, like there's some interesting designs in the sets for Destiny, but not all of them are that good looking. And if you find a piece which is rolled now with the new roll system that they introduced last year, you were getting tired of like wearing this awful chest piece, of having like super small options to modify the look of your chest piece, but you still have like the best in roll for whatever you're trying to do in the game.
Yeah.
And that feels super bad. So
feels really bad. It will be nice to see, for example, like a super gear up character, like all mog in like
the cheapest.
The cheapest, the earliest armor set that you get, like the plain plasticky one.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
There you go. And that's a fun thing that you can do. And of course, this lets the developers get more out of the game, because now the hunt for mugs is real. It's more content that you didn't have before, and now you have. Right? Like automatically, if you implement this system well enough, you have more people to have more excuses to go and visit all content and do all stuff. Yeah, just because of the fashion, because they find that this particular piece, for example, I'll give you an example. People said that the second raid, the Leviathan raid, has amazing looking armors, right? But they don't like go and do it because it's a tiresome raid, right? It's like it's not gonna give you blah blah blah. It's not gonna give you good rewards. But they always says that those weapon and armors, the design, they love it, like throughout the community. Right? Now, if that becomes transmog for your weapons and for your armor, everybody's gonna go and do like a lot more those old raids just because of the cosmetics, right?
Yeah,
and that's super healthy for the game. People will like new people will get to see all race and all content, and will still be relevant for them because they will get the fashion stuff, even if like the proper weapons are not that relevant. And for collectionists like Lucho and I that like to like get sets and that sort of stuff, that it will be like super cool to go, we're gonna go do Leviathan raid this weekend so we can get these weapons that we're missing or these mocks, and then you can like delete all those old weapons that you I even myself, I still have some weapons on the vault because I find them pretty, not because they're useful anymore. And it happens to every Destiny player, right? And now they finally awakened to the truth of an RPG after so many years. Right? How many years?
This article mentions, and I mean, you have to take all of this with a grain of salt.
Of course. This can be like
mentions that they haven't specified how you're gonna be able to turn these armor pieces into ornaments.
Yeah, they haven't specified.
And that there is a slim option of them doing it through silver, which is the premium cash currency.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I think that's the wrong approach. I think
think that's a mistake. Yeah.
Yeah, I think yes, it could be an option, but it cannot be the only way. Right? You have to have.
I think it shouldn't be an option at all.
No, it shouldn't be.
Sell cosmetics.
Yes, what I mean is like it shouldn't be. It could be an option to like buy a specific cosmetic straight up from the thing, and that will give you the choice to transmog it, right? That's what I mean. That's what I mean. It's like, for example, in this week in the cache we have the Leviathan raid sets to sell you as transmogs. Perfect, that's fine, right? But you will have you should have the option to go to the raid and get your transmogs for yourself, and that's it.
For example, I disagree with that. Like, because the raid is, as we mentioned before, and I think these people, one of their articles, one of their news today talks about aspirational content, and selling aspirational content for money.
Yeah,
that's fishy. That's getting into the waters of this is not really fair free to play.
Okay.
Like I don't like are they gonna make a cash exclusive cosmetics? Sure, that I don't care.
All right, fair enough. All right, yeah.
But they shouldn't sell like, this is the old raid cosmetic, we're selling it to you. That feels bad because the part of the whole aspirational thing.
You mean like it should remain exclusive to that piece of content and do it. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I see where you're coming from.
Should they sell me like 1 million
cool transmogs in the store?
Cool transmogs for real money?
Of course.
Sure.
Yes. Yeah.
But you see, this is the kind of thing that it's like, you remember that we discussed how they were sitting in this kind of no man's land in between free to play and full price.
Yes, correct. Yeah. When they launched the free access to the game for the old content.
I feel like they are
finally taking aside,
moving to a real free to play
model. Yeah.
Which there is nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
But it comes with like it you have expectations of what a free to play game will entail.
Yes, correct.
So I don't mind it. I'm perfectly okay with free to play games.
Yeah.
But I think it's funny how like they began in this kind of middle ground, no man's land. We don't know what we're doing, and like I feel like this. Now we're letting you mock everything. Is opening the doors to now we can just straight up sell you for money cool skins or like cool mugs.
Yeah, they finally realized that. Well, but I don't know. I feel like there were already examples of games working like that.
Right? Oh no, they were. I'm just saying that I still think that it was naive, this attempt of we're gonna live in this middle ground that is really nothing.
Yeah, see if we can actually make it without modifying much things and stuff. But the reality is another.
Yeah, I mean, the reality is the market is different, and people really have different expectations of what a full price game is and what a free to play model and things.
Correct.
And comparisons to other games are going to be run no matter what.
Absolutely. But I think this is gonna be good for the game.
I think it's a step in the right direction. Yes. I find it interesting. We talk about it. We mention it. That's what I like the news. I'm gonna say that we brought the change.
We did it, Lucho. After screaming so much to it, we did it. We make it. We made it. We made them change. We made Bungie kneel to our will, to our podcast power. But anyway, I think the only thing again is why are they so slow to change this sort of stuff? Should they do more? Should they be done more research into the actual market that we're going to dive in? We know that developers are monolithic enterprises that take a long time to actually create change inside them, but still, we always wish that they were like faster to react to stuff.
Sure, I wonder two things. I wonder if this was like a real development thing that they just didn't want to do because it was going to be cumbersome. Like you have all the models, but they're somehow like strictly associated to the armor set.
Yeah,
and then like taking the model and the stats apart, it's
gonna
entail a lot of work in the background.
Yeah.
We don't know how it's coded, so it could be that was always going to be a lot of work. And if that's the case, then I get it.
But think about it; they already have an ornament system for.
It's not that they don't have it. It's just that we don't know how things are connected in the background of the game.
That is true. But
it could be that you have one big object that has all the things. And everything is coded around one big object, and now you have to
disconnect it.
If it was built like as a fundamental piece, and now you have basically to like dissect that object into different pieces. You have to change how.
Yeah, at least for
how
weapons.
Things are accessed, how things are stored.
Yeah, at least for weapons, the ornament system was there from launch.
It was, but again, that doesn't mean that it was easy to implement for the rest of the game.
Yes, that is true. That is absolutely true. Yeah.
Because it could be that you have like weapons
as a separate thing, yeah.
And you had because exotics always had ornaments as well.
Yes, correct, yeah.
But it could be just that the ornament was just a different thing completely.
And that exotics are a different kind of thing aside from the weapon system. Yeah, that too. Yeah.
So it's hard to say. So I'll give them the benefit of the doubt because if they didn't plan for this from the beginning, which I don't know why, like that's a sign thing from like.
Yeah, they should.
Why wouldn't It is in my head. It is an RPG, and personalization is always part of the experience. So I don't know why wouldn't you consider it from the beginning. But if they didn't, it could be hard to implement. So
there you go.
It could be that this was always a plan for them. They just didn't want to announce it early on because they didn't know if it was possible. It was going to take them years.
Maybe that the other things like they thought that their Destiny community was kind of like special, different, and they were collecting data to try to take the best decision through all these content drops.
Maybe, but people are not that different. Like
I know.
Like we like to play dress up in our games.
I know. But you know that time and time again we have seen companies demonstrate that water is wet under their own terms.
I know, but this could be just that it was a pain in the ass to implement, and
that
it
too.
has taken them
Yeah,
a lot of time. And they now have a small team, so
yes, correct. So
I'll give them the benefit of that.
Fair enough. So are you
also? It could be that when they moved to a free-to-play market, they really didn't research enough how the market usually works.
Yeah, they just close their eyes and say, "Let's go."
Which it's a brave attempt, but they don't have to do it anymore. Like
yes,
a lot of games have walked that path.
Yes, correct. So apparently these kind of changes won't come till fall, till their other big drop as they used to do every year.
But,
in Destiny.
This is not coming soon. But
well, like they say, they suspect around the fall when this DLC cycle of this year is finished, when this season of this years are finished. All right, and we continue with our Destiny news that apparently they want to dial down into the Eververse microtransaction store. So, same problem. They went too greedy. Yeah.
It depends again.
Yeah. You think yeah.
I was never a fan of the Eververse stores because it didn't give you anything that you wanted. Like, it will give you a bunch of shaders, for example.
Yeah.
And Aaron agrees that the shader system is
the worst.
Very lame in Destiny 2. So I really didn't care about it.
Yeah.
It will give you maybe a couple of nice bikes.
Yeah.
Which, okay. But people don't like people like if you see something cool, people just like to buy it.
Correct. Yeah.
The same for the ghost and maybe ornaments, but again, the drop chance for ornaments was pretty low.
Correct. Yes. Yeah.
So the at least the loot box thingy associated to the reverse thing was kind of lame.
Yeah. Correct.
So I don't think they were that greedy. I never felt when I was playing. I never felt pushed to buy stuff that much.
Yeah.
So I don't think it was greedy. I just think they had the wrong rewards there, and again, they should just move away from the loot boxy kind of thing and just sell people the cool shit that they want.
Yeah, and one of the main complaints that are addressed in this news article is that a lot of the community were saying that there were too many cool things inside the Eververse and not too many cool things in the actual game, and that you were not given the option to sometimes get the Eververse rewards through just gameplay, which was kind of a promise that Destiny was maintaining before they went free to play, where you could get where the items, like the way it works is like the items will enter the Eververse, they will sell for like a month, and then they will enter the pool of the loot box things of the bright engrams, and then you can get them that way, or you can buy them for bright dust.
I think that is naive somehow.
Yeah.
I don't think they can produce that much cosmetic stuff that.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
So that's what I think. That is naive to think that they will maintain a cycle like that is possible.
Fair enough, and more so now that they are a small studio now, smaller studio. Yeah.
Yeah, especially now. Like people are too naive. Like making a new appearance for a weapon or an armor set. That still takes a good amount of time for an artist to do the thing.
Correct. Yeah.
Then they have to put it in the game, check that it doesn't clip in weird ways, that it doesn't stretch in weird ways, that it doesn't interact oddly with stuff. Like all of that is time.
Yeah.
So saying that they're gonna be in a monthly rotation. You need a beefy team of just
but that's
model artists doing it.
That's how they were working before.
Yeah,
right?
but before they had
before they have two more studios where they can rely
on. Yeah,
saying,
they had a larger team. There was just no comparison to
but
what they are now.
but they're still saying in this article that they don't feel like the rewards in the game are where they want it to be. They are not good enough. They want to put more cosmetic and better rewards in other activities that don't have that much
Oh,
of attractiveness rewards.
they definitely do. I don't disagree with that.
Yeah.
It just there are two, like Destiny 2 has two different problems.
Yeah.
One is the cosmetic thing.
Yeah.
Which, like, to be completely honest, I don't mind them just putting cool stuff and selling me straight up in for money.
All right. Yeah.
Because in my head, Destiny 2 is a free to play game. They have to make money somehow.
Yeah.
I have no problem with
But
that.
you still have to, you still want to strike a balance where you can also get some cool stuff through gameplay, right?
Oh no, absolutely.
Yeah.
But sure. I just think of Warframe's model.
Yes.
Like there, think about it. There is really no way to obtain, for example, color palettes.
Correct.
Through gameplay. Like they don't drop anywhere.
Yeah, no.
Like the only way is to farm platinum if you want, but that means engaging with the market, and that's kind of a late game.
Yes, that's kind of another game inside the game.
So it's not like that's not really gameplay related. So you cannot obtain color palettes in Warframe. Like the only way is you have to buy them.
You buy them, or you sometimes you get them for events, right?
Yeah, that's what I was going. That how does Warframe alleviated? Like in each seasonal event, usually they'll sell you pallets for like free.
They'll
give it to free. For
1 credit, something like that.
Yeah. So yeah, like the Easter event comes around. Oh, they'll sell you the Easter color.
The Easter pallets.
Christmas comes around, they'll sell you Christmas palette. Halloween comes around, they'll sell you Halloween palette.
Correct.
New Year's comes around, they'll sell you another thing.
Yes.
The anniversary for the game comes around, they'll sell you
a palette,
purple palette.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, they will alleviate it, but the colors, they're still just you just buy them with money.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
So that's the kind of thing. And if you think about it again, like they sell like all the skins, like I forgot how they're calling Warframe.
The Tenogen skins?
Not the Tenogen, the other ones. The ones that they make.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, they alternate skins for the Warframes that they actually
but make. They just sell them for platinum. Like they don't sell them. You cannot get them any other way.
Yes, correct. Yes.
And those are quote unquote the cool skins.
Yes, correct.
Like
it's fine.
You cannot get them otherwise.
Yeah.
And I don't think Warframe is different again because it has a marketplace and like you can get platinum by playing the game.
Correct. Yeah.
But still, if you think about it, someone paid for that platinum. Like
will you open a marketplace in Destiny?
Does it have something like? Is
it possible to? Yes, is it possible to open a marketplace in Destiny?
I don't know. Like those are different questions.
You could sell like pieces of armor, like good roll pieces of armor, I guess, or very good roll weapons, I guess.
But for real money, that's dangerous. Like that's becoming pay to win.
Yeah, of course, that's become pay to win. Like the thing is, like they don't have like so hard.
Yeah, it's hard because they never designed the game as a free to play game.
Yes,
and now they're they're trying to make a transition, so they really have not much to monetize on.
Yeah, because in Warframe you sell like mods, like rare mods. That's what you sell.
Yeah, but they're like you can argue that they are power, but there's like one mod is such a small part in the overall shape of the game.
Yes, that doesn't matter in theory. And the same with the prime pieces. You sell prime pieces in the black market too.
Yeah, but you can farm all of those.
Because you can farm all of the prime pieces.
Even though you can argue that the prime versions are
a little bit more powerful, like tiny.
Like, yeah, they have like 10 more armor or 20 more shields.
And of course, Warframe doesn't have like competitive PvP, technically speaking.
Destiny doesn't have either. It's full of cheaters and stuff.
Yeah.
And no one really takes it seriously.
It's hard for them to transform to like that model, like especially because they probably want to maintain the season content patch selling and the premium stuff and the big drop expansion thing selling, and how is that gonna shape up in things, and like I don't know, what do you think about that?
I think that is unrealistic with the size of team, and we mentioned this when we talk about that specific news, like that they were trying to keep that drop cycle and with a smaller team. We said it before, it's kind of unrealistic. They probably don't have the manpower, and it's hard to transition like a game that was not designed for free to play to free to play.
Yeah.
Because they just didn't design it with monetization in mind.
Have we seen a successful transition before that you can think of? I was trying to think on one, but
Team Fortress 2?
Team Fortress 2.
I think at some point it was like a $60 game.
Team Fortress 2. Oh my god. My video game history is a little bit rusty about Steam. But I think you're right. Wasn't Team Fortress 2 like sell in a bundle with something else? Like I think it was sell in a bundle with Portal and Half-Life.
It released as a full price game. And at some point when all the Steam shenanigans are getting big, it just became free to play.
That is true. I think that's true. And now everything is centered around cosmetics in the game. But again, in Team Fortress 2, you cannot like sell or buy power because all things are standard. So everything is just cosmetics, right?
Yeah.
And from that comes like a couple of years ago, the like hat scandal that there was people gambling in hat drops in Team Fortress 2 and selling for a lot of money. And
I'm not saying that they're free of scandals. I'm just saying that that's one that comes to mind. That I'm sure it was like a full $60 game.
That transition to free to play, yeah.
And it became free to play, but I don't think they transitioned. I feel like it just became free to play because Valve said, "Yeah, we have Steam. We're making money."
Doesn't matter, yeah. Yes, we know. We're printing money. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, so it was kind of the studio behind Team Fortress was not in need of money.
Yeah, correct.
Now I feel like Bungie is fighting like to stay alive.
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh, at this point, I just like say, "Oh, poor Destiny 2 developers and directors. So hard, man."
No, I agree.
Yeah, it's so hard to transition. So hard to transition, yeah.
It is, but they should have been more upfront with that.
Yeah, they should be.
When they announced the moving to free to play, they said, "Oh no, don't worry about it. We're gonna keep the.
We know what we're doing. It's fine."
Yeah. They should have been upfront and say, "Look,
we don't know.
This is gonna be a hard transition for everyone.
Yeah.
We are testing the waters.
Yeah.
We don't know if this is gonna be successful.
Yes.
And just be upfront. Like we don't have anything to monetize in the game, really.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a hard transition to free to play.
Correct.
Because I'm pretty sure, like I don't think, like I'm pretty sure they were aware at least of Warframe, which is
which is their directly competitor. Like they get mentioned in both together in so many conversations. So yeah.
They must have been aware, and like they must have known how the game is monetized.
Yeah.
But so I'm pretty sure like the game director or someone must have known that they didn't have the things to monetize the game.
Man.
So they should have been more upfront, like it's gonna be a hard transition.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. Yeah.
That's the problem with me, that they promise people, oh no, we're gonna keep the 4 times a year big content drop. Which
correct. Yeah.
I don't think any free to play game
does that. None. Not even World of Warcraft, that is monthly paid, has that pace of drop.
Oh no, it's
not even close.
And the World of Warcraft team is huge.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's unrealistic.
Yeah.
To be fair, but they should have been more like, this is gonna hurt everyone. So bear with us. Like that would have been more honest, and people, I feel like, will have been more forgiving.
Yeah. Finally. So hopefully the finish transition, and hopefully we can come back to the game, to a better, more healthy game for us, at least, right?
I hope these are just growing pains.
Yeah.
I as much as I complain how Destiny 2, I wanted to succeed.
Correct. Yes, because the gameplay is still solid, and what the game is trying to do is still cool.
It's solid gameplay. Yeah. It has its place on the market.
Yeah, correct.
I don't want them to fail at all.
Yes, correct.
Even if I don't like the plasticky feel of the game,
yeah.
I still want them to succeed.
Correct. All right, and for a final news, talking about Warframe, by the side of Destiny, the next big drop of Warframe, which is the Duviri Paradox, of course, is coming in next year with everything that is happening. Do you thought that this was coming in this year at some point? When it was announced last year on TennoCon?
Before all what's going on in real life?
Yeah?
Yeah, maybe.
I thought it was going to go like at the end of this year.
Yeah. Like for last quarter.
Yeah, November, last quarter. December. Yeah.
I thought it was possible.
I was too. I was pretty convinced that, because they did the announcement, I thought that they were for sure going to deliver. But this makes sense, man. They're difficult times.
It does make sense, but it's sad news.
Of course it's sad news, because here we go again with the content draw. And everything is terrible.
It's not that bad. Like the Scarlet event, I think it was bug it all. I enjoy it. Yeah. I have things to do. I farm it. I got rewards.
Correct. Yeah.
I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
Like the next battle pass thing, the next Nightwave.
Yeah.
Is gonna be dropping next week, so that's good.
Nice.
So we'll have new rewards to farm for, which is always nice. Yeah, they're gonna also drop next week, I think, the full revamp for the Corpus tile set.
Cool, nice.
So
I want to see that.
We're gonna get rid of the old Corpus tile set at all. We're only gonna have new
nice.
Corpus, which it's really good looking. Like
yeah.
It's that Jupiter tile set, which is
so cool. Yes, absolutely.
And the thing that they mentioned, actually, and they slightly mentioned in this article, like on yesterday's dev stream, they mentioned that they're going to include or that the plan, at least for next week's update, is to also include a hire mode.
Hire mode?
What do you mean? Basically, you're now going to be able to, when you go to a mission, you're going to be able to choose what level the enemies are going to start at. And the way that Scott described it is just that it's going to have tiers. So you're going to have the basic mission.
Yeah.
Then you're going to have hard mode, which is the mission plus 50 levels.
Oof. All right.
and then you're gonna have, he called it like extra hard or something like that. Those are
extreme.
Those are not gonna be names.
Hardcore.
It's gonna have Warframey names.
Yes. Let's see.
He also
Warframey
mentioned
names.
that
Let's see.
they wanted to put
Lotus
another one.
Chosen. The Lotus Chosen difficulty. Something like that. Yeah.
He mentioned that he also wanted to put like another
tier
layer to that. Like, jeez. I don't know. Plus 100 or something.
You're the chosen one, and dear Tenno, difficulty.
I think it's an interesting idea.
Yeah.
They mentioned that they basically someone asked when that is gonna drop, and Steve said, "Why don't we go back to the 2015 model? Just do whatever. Drop it and see what happens." The problem that I see is that, and they mentioned this is are they gonna split the player base?
Of course, into like
that is gonna be dangerous. There are already nodes that or missions that are not played that much.
Yeah, they're empty all the time. Yeah.
This is gonna split that small per node player base even more.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
It is an interesting idea, but
who knows? What about the rewards? Because
yeah, that's something that they say they haven't worked out at all.
Yeah,
it's probably gonna give more stuff.
Of course, makes sense.
but they haven't worked that out, and that's why Steve said, "Yeah, maybe we'll just like multiply the rewards by number, like the more credit, more of the materials that they drop and stuff."
Yeah,
like
just put a multiplier by the side of the difficulty and call it a day.
See, drop it and see what happens.
Yeah.
We'll fix it later.
So what do you think that this suspension is gonna be like? Is gonna be Warframe first step into time travel wobbly?
What, the Luiri?
Yeah.
It seemed that way, and that's the speculation that everyone is.
Right, they're gonna do time travel stuff.
I mean, you could do it without calling it time travel because void powers.
Well, you can do it by calling it like paradox, like parallel dimensions, and that will save you hassle.
It could be a void illusion or something.
Yeah, or a void pocket dimension or whatever thing, right? Construct or whatever you can imagine, like.
And it's a lot of people are speculating. What is it really going to be? Everyone is excited about that because of getting finally like adult operators.
Yeah, adult operators. Yeah, adult Tenno. Yes.
Which I am really excited about it. That's cool. That's the part that I care the most about. But
you're no longer gonna be a little kid.
Yeah,
you're gonna be a man.
I'm gonna be a strong, independent woman.
Yes, or a strong, independent woman. That is true.
Yeah, but it's sad times.
Yeah, but it's understandable. Well,
it is. I'm not saying it's not, but still sad times.
Yeah.
I was looking forward to
this weird stuff. Yeah, absolutely. All right, and that's all our news. So we move to our deep dive. Please do the disclaimer while I turn on the light because my natural light is gone.
Okay. So we are gonna be all the topics and opinions in the deep dive section are based on personal experience. We do research most of the topics, but we'll make mistakes. We'll get things wrong, and we'll appreciate you get back to us and tells us where to improve.
Yeah, and then what we did or say wrong or that sort of stuff.
Yep.
All right. So in a deep dive, we have big monsters across the Steam community, the evolution of social interaction in World of Warcraft, and to finish, how to deliver a big hype event the right ways. So, what is this about people complaining Monster Hunter World that the monsters are too big? They're damn too big.
It's not people. I think it's just I read this forum post.
Yeah.
And it's just one person complaining about that they don't like the big monsters in the game, so they don't like Kultarot,
Yeah.
Senujiwa,
Yeah.
and the new ones. That full disclaimer: we haven't killed the new one, the new big
Correct.
monster.
But we have killed the other two.
And this person is saying that basically he or she or they doesn't like just running around, like not like feeling tremors and not having a big picture of the monster, like just being a small little insect.
But that's the point of Monster Hunter World.
And I would argue that that's not even true. Like, if you think about it, most of the monsters, even though they're big,
yeah,
during gameplay,
yeah,
like you can see the whole monster.
All right. Let me think about it. The Elder Dragons. Let's see. Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, you can see Nergigante. He's not that big. You can see.
Kirin is not.
The biggest one is the rotten one. What is the name? I forgot.
I forgot.
Yeah, the Vel one. He has a weird name. He has a weirder name. Just pull up the Elder Dragons. Save me, Lucho, save me.
I just, like, the one that came to my mind was Kushala, but that's the windy one.
Yeah, that's the windy one, and that's fine. You can see the entire dragon.
Yeah, but I forget. I'm looking for the name of the guy.
The valid dude. You can do it, Lucho.
I know who you're talking about. I'm trying to find the name.
Oh my god. Google did Google betray us?
It did betray
Oh my god. Really? Let's see.
It's because I didn't put the world at the end of this.
There you go. Of course. Valhazak, there you go. Yeah. No, that's the biggest one, right? And that's the biggest one of the three.
I mean, Senuji was bigger.
Yeah, sure. Senuji was bigger, yeah. But I was like in the
Yeah, but the other ones.
Culture of like I don't mind culture of sight. Do you mind culture of size?
No, I don't. But that's the point.
Yeah. And she I think she does have layers, and she gets smaller, quote unquote, when she drops those layers, right?
Yeah. But you can argue that the first phase of the cultural fight, you're basically like trimming her nails. Like, it's really hard
correct. And she's very big.
and also she's walking around like small corridors. So.
Yes, correct.
So you don't really get a feel. But that's I feel like that's it is. I feel like it was done on purpose, that you're going from like small corridors to larger and larger arenas. Well, the monster is losing layers.
Correct. Yeah.
And it's to give that illusion of, at the beginning, you're not fighting, like you don't know what you're fighting.
Or you're fighting something big and dangerous, and then you slowly strip them away and put it down to your level and blah blah blah. Yeah, but what do you think? Like, you like, and I was thinking about this, and I was like, oh well, but people never complain about Shadow of the Colossus. In Shadow of the Colossus, it was an entire game built around killing big ass monsters.
On Shadow, I've never played it. I've seen gameplay.
Yeah,
it never seemed like you're really fighting it. Like in lore, you're fighting the monster.
Yeah,
but it's more like puzzle thingy of moving around and doing things to a big thing.
Yeah, you're like basically you're climbing him and hitting weak spots, but the size relation is maintained, and the monster is still attacking you, technically speaking. Like if you fall down to the ground
again. No, but that's the point. It's attacking you. Well, like Monster Hunter is straight up. You're hitting the nails of the monster.
Yeah, but as I see, I know. But as I see, like I that's why Kulturov works more than the other big monsters, because I feel like if you're gonna do if you're going to do a big monster of that side, it has to be something like that. It has to be a puzzle to work around, because it's not feasible that like a little dude with a sword kills a big dude.
And the Monster Hunter games would disagree with you. There is, in the older games, there is one of the Elder Dragons, the big snake one, that if you have ever seen gameplay of people killing it, is people like you see a little slab of the snake, on the screen. It's people hitting like a little piece of the snake. That's all there is to that fight.
Just hitting a piece of the snake till it dies by like 1,000 needles.
Basically. But I feel like that's fitting, because that Elder Dragon is like one of the largest one is
in existence.
I don't know, like I don't think that is like, I'll give this person like, sure, like you may not like it.
Yeah.
And that's fine, because that's personal preference. But I see nothing wrong with that. Like
I don't know. I feel personally as a game designer, I feel like the best approach is the puzzle one approach. Right?
I don't like puzzles. And Monster Hunter is not a game about puzzles.
But technically, well, I don't know. Like Cult Tarot is the closest thing. Well, you have to do specific things to like move it to the next stage.
No, you can ignore all the things.
You can ignore all of the things?
You can ignore all the things to drop on Cult Tarot's head. You can ignore all. You can just go and hit it hard until it moves.
Yeah, but you're hitting like, well, it's not a puzzle like you have to like solve certain things, but you're interacting in this very particular way with the monster, right? And you have to hit the thing, the mantle, so it drops and you can move to the next.
If you hit, like, you don't have to hit it in any specific part. You don't have to do anything specific for that. If you do enough damage to a monster, it will change faces.
No, but it has that component that if you hit it in certain specific parts, it will go better.
Yeah, but that's all the monster in Monster Hunter.
Yes,
like all the monsters have weak
so spots. They already have this kind of puzzle construction as a weak point.
That's my argument. That's not a puzzle.
Well,
like a puzzle is something that you have to do certain actions in a really specific order to like obtain a specific result. Monster Hunter is not that at all. It's just like all the monsters have weak spots that you are trying to hit.
All right.
But you don't have to hit them in a specific pattern. You don't have to do it in a specific order. You don't have to be like in a specific room. You know, like that's a puzzle for me. Like a puzzle for me is you have to complete a set.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Collection of steps in a specific order to obtain the result. Monster Hunter is they have weak spots, and you may like even if you don't hit them at all. If you hit the weak spots all the time, if you do it enough times and hard enough, you will kill the monster.
All right. So maybe then the layer system is better for big monsters, like the stages.
Those were different questions.
No, I'm changing the question. Yeah, I'm changing the question clearly.
I like the fight. Like I think that is interesting, just because it's nice to. It's just like the change of arenas is interesting. I like that.
All right.
So I like the stage, and the moves change, so that makes the same fight feel different each time.
All right, correct. I think we have do we have like a slight terrain change when we are fighting Xeno'jiiva?
Yeah,
we do, right?
He starts the arena gets smaller each time.
There you go.
And he there are some structures and the middle that you can hide behind that at some point he'll
don't you fall to another stage? You fall to another stage, right? And I think that's the nail in the coffin of what this guy doesn't like. Like maybe for those big monsters he wants to have more layering so the fight feels kind of like it makes sense that you are bringing down this big behemoth to your level, or like you're chopping him.
But it doesn't have
that you're progressing slowly on him because of the size. Maybe I'm trying to like discern what is the thing that makes him uncomfortable in these fights.
I think he's just approaching the game the wrong way.
All right.
That's different.
All right. But in terms of design, it's more enjoyable to have like faces, right? That's what you're telling me.
Mm,
In these big monsters.
it is more enjoyable because these big monsters are usually long fights.
Yes, correct.
So it just helps keep the fight fresh.
Correct.
And if you think about it, like that's what the game has trained you to, because all the monsters will try to move around to change arenas.
Correct. Yes. Yes. Yes.
So it's not that like it's has the same spirit. Like we want the monsters to keep moving between arenas to keep the fights fresh. They have
Yeah.
slight different movements from places. They will
Yeah.
interact differently with different arenas. So it's what the smaller quote unquote monsters do all the time.
Yes, in,
Like
in, a, in a
I would
smaller
argue that
scale.
it's not different.
The things like the others, they do it in a less, because the fights are shorter. You sometimes can like jump that final phase by capturing them before they go to it.
Oh no,
But
but
in the big
sure, but
monsters, is kind of inevitable, right?
yeah, yeah, sure. The big monsters are more scripted in that sense.
Yeah, yeah,
But even for the smaller ones, like some of them will just fly away from you.
that's true.
Flash and you like flashbangs don't work that way now, so you can even
Yeah,
stop them. Like they will just go,
yeah,
like they will just fly and they'll leave.
yeah. But I
Like
feel yeah, 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 yeah.
not even to their nest. Like just they'll just change arenas and that's it.
Correct, correct. Yeah, yeah. But I feel that's the main complaint of that guy. That he feels that the other two big monsters are not very enough, that the farm becomes kind of boring at some point. I think that's the feeling of the dude that is writing this.
I I can get that,
Yeah,
but I don't know. Like Xenogeo's fight, I really like it.
yeah,
I like the sign of the monster. The fight is not that hard. Like in these comments, like there was some people complaining about the tremor when fighting our temper or Xenogeo,
all right.
because the monster will make the all the arena tremor.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But it's like is not that bad, and I don't know. It's
Is this a case of people likes to complain?
like I get the like, one thing that I will give them is that usually these bigger monsters, the fights are more scripted than
Yes,
the
correct,
regular ones.
correct.
So that feels
That
it just doesn't
maybe.
feel as natural.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
and these larger monsters, especially Senegio, is more like that one is one that is pushing the boundaries of yeah, this is just a laser attached to a dragon.
Yes, correct.
It's the least monster feeling of all of them.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
wouldn't say like Ultra feels like a real monster. Like
Yes, 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 yes.
and they found an interesting way of the armor mechanic thing to make
Yeah,
it
the
work. The
mantle,
no
and then the
failure.
second phase, and then put like the rocks, and then the lava phase, and then you go to the final small arena to actually break the
And
shit out of it.
fire things
Yeah,
and
yeah,
there
yeah.
kill her, and you just break her horns.
Yeah, that fight is like very, like, in that sense is a very cool design of like big monster event, but
Yeah,
for stages, and like you chip it
I love
down slowly, and there's more people helping you because it's such a monumental task. And yes, I think for me, at least for me personally, I like if the majority if majority of the big monsters events will be something like that. We have that on Bahamut, right? In a sense.
yeah.
Yeah, we have that on Bahamut in a sense, and that fight is cool. It's hard, but it's cool.
I don't like that fight that much.
Yeah.
That's one of the fights that I don't enjoy that much. I don't know why. Just nah.
But it kind of has similar spirit. Not. It is
I
missing the
dislike it. I
cooperative
dislike it
part.
not because of that.
All right, fair enough.
Just I don't like the fight on itself.
Why?
I don't like the powers of the monster, and I think the
You don't
monster
like the
looks
pose.
stupid.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
I don't
fair
have to
enough.
like it, but that is not because of the fight. Like It's not because of the big monster aspect of the fight. Just I don't like the movement of the like he is not a real monster in the Monster Hunter sense.
That is true. That is true. He's an export from another game, and he feels a lot like
fine,
it.
But they brought like the moves of the monster are not monster moves. You know?
Yeah, they're not very Monster Hunter-y like.
He's casting a tornado.
Yeah.
And then, oh no, he's casting a meteor.
Yeah, I get it.
You know, that doesn't feel
like one monster that I actually feel like very Monster Hunter was the one from The Witcher, the Lichen? The Lichen?
Yeah, the Lichen.
Yeah.
It feels like a monster.
Yeah,
You buy it. It will cast all powers on you. Sure.
Yeah.
But the way that they did it, it feels like a thing that is possessing the forest and
yeah.
sprouting vines from the floor. And like sure, it's kind of stupid, but the way that it was designed, it made it make more sense.
That Bahamut, yeah.
But Bahamut is just like, oh, tornado on you.
and it shows you the prompt from Final Fantasy, so it's endearing.
It is pandering. It's not endearing.
Yeah, fair enough.
In my head.
Yeah.
Because it's showing you the thing that you wanna see. Oh, but it doesn't really feel like a Monster Hunter monster.
Yeah, correct.
Which is sad because for me, one of the strongest designs of the game is the fact that they put a lot of effort into making the monsters feel alive. I like monsters, and the tags feel like things that the monster would actually do.
Yes, and everything makes sense.
Yeah, feel like a laser.
And this thing is like a brick of meat that is casting tornadoes from nowhere.
He doesn't move much. He's like, a lot of the time he's kind of in the middle of the arena just casting tornadoes on you.
He's literally a brick of meat. A brick of meat that is casting magic. With no sense, shape or form or anything that makes sense.
Yeah. So it's like I don't like the fight because of that, because it feels kind of bullshit. Like
yeah, fair enough.
Like I don't mind getting rammed by Nergigante.
Yeah.
You know, like
yeah.
But this guy just casting tornado. Bullshit. Like it's not like Monster Hunter is not the game for that. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, correct. Anyways, but I think we still in the same thing. It's like I think their template for big event monsters should be Kulturot.
Yeah, I think Kulturot, it's really although they cannot like. Would you have liked a Synergy fight to be more Kulturot like?
If it was on a I don't know. I don't think for Synergy specifically, but like for attach for our big monsters, yes. For Synergy, yes. I think I will do. I will. I think yes. I think the answer is yes. He's the last fight of the game. It should feel like a big event thing and like a big effort stuff. I think my answer, at least for me, is yes.
I think maybe it could have worked. And then it's just Monster Hunter has always had this problem of, we have this like all the fifth commission thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, we're all together gonna go and fight the monster, and it is you alone, and after you kill the monster, like everyone shows up. We did a good job. There's nothing.
And you're like, I did a good job.
So maybe Synergy would have benefited of like a social share experience like Kulturot.
To make it feel like it was a joint effort. Yeah.
The only problem that I see with that is that Synergy is
that is part of the main story. That's what
a standard monster in the game.
Yeah,
and you will have to farm it a lot.
Yes, so correct.
I don't know how easy it will be to find like teams of 16 people. I mean, you don't have to. You can do it all alone.
Yes. You
But
can always
if you
do it.
try, for example, to culture it alone, it will just take you a lot of time and a lot of repetitions, of the same stages.
Yeah.
So,
well, you'll probably adjust the rewards for Xeno in that sense to make it like something similar to what the rewards of Cultura, or at least that's what I will do. Like I will adjust the rewards.
Yeah, but I don't think it's a rewards problem. I think it's
a player availability problem, or
and like Synergy also still part of the basic roster of the game.
Well, we can get to a middle ground, right? Where where you do a phase of the fight by yourself, successfully finishing this story, but then you have an event that actually finishes the fight, right?
That would be interesting.
There you go.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
That would be interesting, but it will leave. It could leave a sensation of incompleteness in the story.
Yeah.
If you never do the second part of the fight.
Yeah, it could, but it depends on how you manage the narrative, and how often you bring it back as an event, and what how do you wrap up the story? That would be the challenge right there.
It does, but like from a narrative point of view, like the whole game is building up to find Synergy and the crystal magic thing, laser stuff, power.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, what's happening? Oh, and then we find it, and then it's like, oh, we have to kill it. And let's say that you're just playing to see just the basic monsters.
Yeah.
Just because of that, you don't want to farm them. Like, you don't want to do anything like that. You just want to go and fight all the monsters and kind of see what's new, which it could be another approach to a game, but still, by all. And then you go and you fight Senegio, and it's like, oh, but he escaped.
I just imagine the commander doing that motion.
An all-time commander.
Yeah.
That would feel kind of shit,
of course. I will.
That is not as satisfying.
From the top of my head, like to kind of avoid that, I will do probably this. Like I will do that, and no, it's not that he escaped, but he defeated you. Right? He defeated you.
That feels even worse. That's not satisfying.
Let me finish. He defeated you, or what you can do. He escaped, or he defeated you, depending on what the story needs, and then you need all of the commission help, right? And you put an always opt-in event for a story mode, and then you have a second thing where it has like the real layers, right? So if you're just doing it for the story, you get to that point, you still get that story beat, right? And then you can either wait to go into like normal mode of Xeno'jiva and run through the event when everybody participates, or you can opt in into a story mode of that same event that is like designed to be beaten by just one person in just one rotation.
Nah. But then why, like?
Because the point is the point is delivering that end of the story, right?
Sure, but like, then why are you going through all the trouble of splitting the fight into if at the end you're just gonna let one player kill it?
Just to deliver, like, because I would like Xeno'jiva to be an event like Turov, but I still want.
What I'm saying is that may not be worth it. Like, that may not be worth all the trouble that you're trying to go.
Fair enough. It could not be worth it. It could not be worth all the trouble.
Because, like, a satisfying story, arguably, would end in, oh, you killed the big bad monster at the end.
Yeah.
And if you don't, like, then it feels kind of shitty. Like, it was a monster hunter game and you didn't hunt the last monster.
Yeah,
it got away. That feels shitty.
Well, you can still, like, as I said, you can opt out, like, to have that story more normal, and then you can leave Xenojiva.
Yeah, then it may not be worth it to just split it in that way. Like, if you're just gonna let people kill it, just put everything in one fight, and that.
I don't know. It was an idea just to have like Xenojiva as an event.
I know that it was an idea to have Xenojiva as an event.
Yeah.
It's just that Xenojiva specifically is a hard example to manage because he's the last boss.
Correct. Yeah.
So you have so you can do it with Kultarot, and you can get away with, oh, she escaped.
Yeah.
Because she's not the last, like, she's just another monster.
Yeah, he's just I get you. Yeah.
But Xenojiva is kind of on that like on that special place, being the last monster of the game. Like, everything is building up to a laser power monster.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. It's hard.
I'm saying. It is hard, and that's my point. Like, there is no, I don't think there is any solution for Xenojiva because of the place
that she occupies in the story. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Yeah. But yeah,
it's interesting. It's just I don't mind big monsters. Like I really wouldn't mind to fight a gigantic snake and just hitting one little portion of the snake all the time.
Like, or can you imagine like going through like a spire and trying to get to different like weak points, or like to go climb it and something crazy like that and hit it and fight on it? That would be cool.
That would be cool, but that would be cool. But if you think about it, still the fighting, like each stage of the fighting, you're just like hitting a square of the snake.
Yeah, but it was the same with what is his name? With the other big monster, the mountain, the walking mountain.
Oh, but yeah, you never hit him at, like, you never.
You hit his weak points.
I know.
As much as you can like hit a piece of rock, man.
That's a fight that a lot of people don't like.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it feels like you're not fighting, like the siege is a lot about like loading cannons and rolling to the cannon thingies and then
fire the Dragonator. Yeah.
But it doesn't feel like a real fight.
That is true.
It is a real fight. Like, and then it has phases and it has attacks if it is getting close enough to a wooden barricade and stuff. But
you don't fight the monster as you do in Kultarot. Yeah.
No, which I like. It makes sense in lore because you will be fighting a mountain quite literally.
Quite literally.
But it just feels cheated. Like, it's okay.
Fair enough.
A lot of people don't like. I forgot the name.
Come on, Google, you can save us again.
Sura Magdaros.
Yeah, Sura Magdaros. There you go.
A lot of people don't like Sura Magdaros, which, fair enough. It's definitely not my favorite fight.
Yeah. That is true. Well, I think in conclusion is like, yes, design good fights inside the Monster Hunter universe for big monsters is very difficult, especially because they're big monsters. And we think that Kultarot is a perfect example of how to do it successfully inside that context, inside the context of Monster Hunter world. But maybe there is more answers that we cannot think in this moment.
Yeah. I like Xenojiva, and if you think about it, when you're hitting Xenojiva, you're basically hitting the nails.
You're clipping their nails, especially when you're playing like dual swords.
Even with
big weapons,
sword,
yeah.
Like, you barely hit the face, like.
Yeah, that is true.
But like, it's still your model compared to the model of the monster. You're like foot size.
Correct.
Like the only weapons that can see the monster are like the ranged weapons. Like heavy bow guns. That's
Yeah.
the only one. Because you would fight it with the bow, you have to hit the face of the monster.
Correct. Yes. 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 Yes.
Because the bow handles more like a shotgun in this game than anything else.
Correct. Than anything else. That is true. That is true. Yeah, that's a nice comparison. Yeah, you're right. Bows are shotguns.
I mean, they behave like that.
Yeah.
They're really not long range weapons.
Correct. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You have to, in the face of the monster, you have to, like, dodging to charging is a thing because they acknowledge that you need to be close to the monster, so you need to dodge a lot.
Yeah.
Which is something that is not a thing for heavy bow guns. Like, dodging is not a thing, so they don't rely on that as a mechanic thing to be part of your quote unquote rotation of button pressing.
Yep, correct.
So the only real like long range weapon is the bow guns.
Correct. Anyways, something else about this, Lucho? Your final word?
No, I like clipping nails.
Yeah. All right. With that comment, we move on to the next topic. That is the evolution of social interaction in World of Warcraft. I saw kind of people discussing about this comment of like, well, before there were not all these easy ways to do social in World of Warcraft, so people were more together, and now they get like looking for group and all these facilities for the casual, and that kind of ruined the natural social interaction. Elaborate, Luch. Elaborate. Maybe I'm rambling.
No, I mean it's basically when World of Warcraft launched, it didn't have any tool to bring people together to activities that require groups of people.
Correct.
So if you want to a dungeon, like you'll have to go to chat and look for people and talk to people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
To get into groups to stuff. Well, nowadays you can just press
looking for group
button and you don't have to talk to anyone at all. So people say, and basically the old style will force people to social interactions with others.
Yeah.
Because the game once requires it, and there was no other way to it than just to talk to people.
Correct.
So a lot of people prefer that, and they complain about LFG is a bad thing.
The past was always best. And now we have Warcraft Classic.
So I don't know where do you stand in the
it's kind of an evolution of the times of as gamers. Right now, because gaming is a more widespread normal thing, you have to be more accessible and respectful of the time that people that games have right now, right? In the past, you were marketing these games for like people in college or kids that they have a lot of free time in their hands, and they can spend all this time going through all the hoops and social hoops to get to do stuff in the games because they have the time. Right now, a lot of gamers, especially World of Warcraft, are adult people that work, that have another aspirations, that the game is a escape or release or like kind of a social activity for them, right? So you have to still you have to offer flexibility to those people to accomplish what they want and get what they want from the game without going all the infinite hassle of like depending on other people's time, or depending if they have X or Y time, or like not sure if they can go to a game. And as World of Warcraft is mainly a very social game when you need people to do like the big activities all the time because that's the focus of the game as being an MMO. And that's the result. The result is like they give you tools and facilities for you to be more efficient when the time that you use in World of Warcraft, right? Be more efficient with what you do with the time that you have to play the game.
Definitely.
And well, the good thing is like they make sure that you are always using your time with the people that you play, right? In certain way, because it's easier to see if those people are online in if they have the time and group up. That's one way to see it, right? But that makes it so that you can do it with randoms and you don't depend necessarily of other people, because that's the entire thing. If we're evolving to these players that don't have all the time in the world to play, then you cannot depend of like bargaining into other people's time to do dungeons, which is the most social consistent thing that you can do and easiest thing that you can do in World of Warcraft. Uh, but you still have like you still have all those social structures in the game. You still have guilds. You still have like looking for groups. You still can have friends. You can still have add friends on Steam. For me, that social aspect of the game has is not gone. It's just changed because of the way that the people that plays the game change with it.
Yeah. What that is true.
Yeah.
And this it's just weird, like because I don't think the social dependency for the game has gone anywhere. Like
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
like for example, if you wanna do mythic keys,
Correct.
you either have friends to it with, like to run them with, or you go to a wild. And the wild in this case is not like recurring chat anymore. That's
Yeah.
not a thing.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you still go through the little looking for dungeon screen,
Yeah.
and you see like this list of basically posts of people saying, "We're running this. We need these people."
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of the same thing as before?
Yeah, but
And,
easier.
and like you need to apply, and if you get in the group, like if you're like most people will like type in chat,
Yeah, and say hello and say say
talk a
whatever.
little bit, and like try to be nice and until someone rage quits.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I don't,
like I
I'm
think
just saying that
yeah.
that social dependency is still there. Like that is not like there is LFG for everything. Like sure for heroics, but that's not the end of the game.
Yeah.
If you wanna mythic dungeons, there's no LFG. Like,
Yeah, that you have to go and find a group and they have to accept you or whatever.
yeah, and like the gearing process. Like if you go to any WoW guide nowadays,
Yeah.
the gearing process does not end at heroic level at all. Like at least for dungeons.
Correct. Yeah.
So that is not the end of the game. And if you wanna do raids, Lefar is just the entry step into raiding. Like
Just for you to see the sights, quite literally.
that's quite literally
Yeah.
sizing, and but that's not what the bulk of raiders live.
Yeah, correct.
Like still bulk of raiders are in raiding guilds or doing pug runs and doing the same thing of posting, we are doing this raid, we are in this boss,
Yeah.
we need these people, and just go to a group and you have to talk to a people, and there
I,
is one guy typing instructions. I don't know. I just don't see how it went away.
no, I think it's just change, and I think change is not good or bad. It's just change, and I feel like the social tools became so much better. Then of course they diminish a bunch of like unnecessary social interaction that you had before, where if you want to coordinate, like there's some story like if you want to coordinate a raid, you call people on the phone and tell them like, oh, where are you, can you log in, and that sort of stuff. And like, of course, that that not having those tools force you to interact with more people to do the job that those tools are doing right now of keeping track of people, or like seeing if they come or not, or like.
So what you're telling me is that people miss not having Discord as a tool.
Apparently. Apparently, that's what they're telling. That's what exactly what they're saying here.
and like Discord and Curse and all these social tools.
And like the calendar inside the game, like the guild system when you see which guilds are live or not, the exclusive guild chat and that sort of stuff, right? None of that existed.
Like if I think like I'm pretty sure every guild nowadays
has a Discord. For sure. For sure.
So if you're in a guild, that's your social hub, like. And it's even better because you don't have to in game to interact with your guildies.
Correct. Yeah. You don't have to be in game for them to write you down and tell you, hey, we need you for X, Y. Are you coming? Are you doing X? Are you here is that, the like, yeah.
Like if they're just talking about general stuff, like they're doing it on Discord, and you're still part of the social group. Like,
yeah.
I it's weird. Like it just I don't sometimes
it's
I don't
like
get
it's the same argument that why we call people less from the phone and we just chat all the time. Is that lessens our social experience?
No.
There we go. Of course it becomes more sterile, quote unquote, because you cannot read expressions and inflections and etc, right? So
yeah, but that's, I mean, language should always evolve for that. That's why, like, you use emotes when you text.
Exactly. Yeah,
stuff like that. Would that become part of language eventually?
Yeah. And like, yeah. and then the other like social question, like, oh, we have so many tools to communicate with each other that we don't need to. Well, not applying in this crisis at this moment, but in general, that we are not visiting each other. We are not getting together as a social, like to have human on human interaction because we have this, and then we became disconnected from those kind of like friendships and interactions, and that we become more isolated, right? The whole conversation of like technology is just it's giving you so many tools of communication that it's just isolating us because we lose the human interaction touch of stuff.
Physically maybe, but I don't know. That's not true for most people. Like, I don't know. Even if we take out, if we turn back a couple of months to normal life.
Yeah.
Like most people still have jobs and will have to go to school and interact with their classmates and workmates. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
It's a whole social content, and I think the feeling of this.
Yeah, could you lock yourself in your room? Yes, you could.
Yeah.
Most people do it. I don't think most people do that. I think most people just have normal jobs and.
That is true, and like to socialize and like to go out and drink all the time and have parties.
That's
and
what
get
people
drunk.
have been like complaining about the whole like quarantine / lockdown that we're in
exactly
across the world. That people miss that is not because they were not doing it before. Like, even with all these tools, I'll still like go and have dinner with friends and like,
exactly.
Go get coffee with them, like as a normal thing. Like that's just normal part of life. I don't think.
Yeah. That's the thing. That's the thing. But there's another. Yeah.
Like how's you came to WoW, like to modern WoW, like you never experienced
classic or whatever old
style WoW.
Yeah.
What's been your social experience in the game?
It's been super positive, man. Everybody's been nice. If I want to play by myself and do by myself, I fine. If my guildies need me for doing X or Y, it's fine. And the most enjoyable times that I had is when I'm with the guildies raiding or doing like Mythic Plus dungeon with people talking about it. But I never feel like I'm being social, antisocial, social exclusion, or like that I'm not community, like that I'm not active in the community or that sort of stuff. Like,
would you wish that the game pushed you harder into all this social dependency thing?
Not really.
Because that's what I feel, and I may be wrong, but that's what I feel this whole argument comes back to, is just they want the game to push people into like stronger social dependency.
I feel that if you want to see like the true quote unquote end game of World of Warcraft, you're already forced to do it.
That's my argument. I agree with that.
Yeah.
If you wanna like take part in any meaningful way in the quote unquote end game of the game,
yeah,
that's completely social dependent.
Absolutely, completely social dependent. Like I cannot imagine trying to do end game stuff by myself. I think it's nigh impossible. Let's say
not only by yourself, but even when you're doing, if you find a random group of people running heroic Nasat.
Yeah.
Man, like, sure, it's a random group of people, but you'll still need someone like giving instructions, someone explaining the fight.
Yeah,
it's not like you just like press a button, log into a game, like get into a group, do your own thing, like crazy.
No.
Successfully kill the guy and you disconnect. It never goes like that.
Never.
Has not been my experience running Puck.
Like, never.
There's like you always have to explain the things. Yeah. Usually, like for a lot of mechanics, you have to explain. Okay, we have this group of people doing this group of people doing that. It's that what do people want? Like, do people want more? Like,
more, yeah. Yeah.
More difficult.
Apparently. Apparently, some people yearn for like more difficult social needs.
Yeah, but like I really don't see what is the difference between having the current looking for group system that for those higher difficulties is basically just like a listing system.
Yeah, correct.
To just having people shouting in a recruiting chat.
Yeah.
Running this thing, need 2 tanks.
Yeah.
Blah, blah.
Over and over again, and spamming chat and etc.
Is that better than just a listing system? I would argue that it's not. No. And it's not that different. Like, it's the same thing. You just have a bunch of people listing the things that they are doing.
Yeah.
And listing the roles that they need.
Yeah, correct.
That's what I'm saying. Is that the difference from just sitting for hours spamming a chat window?
Yeah.
I would argue that it's not.
It's not. Yeah, absolutely. I will say the same, right? I will say the same.
I don't know.
And like,
I think
we have played games when you don't need people to do activities.
Oh, yeah, at all.
At all. You don't need to interact at all with people. And for me, at least, World of Warcraft has been the most social, pressing game that I've played.
It is a very socially dependent game.
Yeah.
If you wanna like
do endgame.
And the beautiful thing is that you don't have to. Like,
you don't have to. Yeah, absolutely. It's an absolute. Maybe that's the thing. Like, they want you to force you to actually get into the social part of the game.
But I think that's a mistake.
Me too. I think you always have a choice. You should always have a choice.
Yeah. Why would you take away the choice from people?
Yeah.
That's the thing that I don't get. Like, dude, they're not affecting what you're doing. Like,
yeah, because people are crazy, I guess.
if people just want to go around like through Azeroth doing their own thing, how's that a problem for you? Like,
yeah, can you imagine, like, if for example, like me, I want to see the part of BFA by the
horse,
side, and like, yep, I don't want to go through a hustle to find a whore guild and just to see part of the story. No.
To actually just see a story.
Yeah, to actually just see a story, and that's it, right?
Yeah, right? I don't know. It's I don't know why would people want to force people to have social interactions. Is that when
nostalgia,
that is not really
maybe
you?
Nostalgia, I guess.
That's a factor, but I think that comes from the wrong place.
Yeah,
like that's a lack of self-reflection on your own experiences. Like,
correct.
Is that social? It's forcing social interaction? Feel the same like it felt when you were 15 years old. Now that we're 30 something, no, it's not.
Yeah, there's a point to this that I find interesting, and it's like the mystery of social interaction, right? What the mystery of social interaction was, right? Inside a simulated reality.
No, I know where you're going with this, and
yeah,
was that exciting when I was 12 years old?
Yes.
Do I care now that I'm 30 years old?
No,
not at all.
That was my next point. I think that's the other thing that this article is like, the mystery of social interaction. Back in the day when you have to, you have to figure out and actually like make it part of the actual mystery of the game of how to organize a raid, and how impossible it is to get like 40 people, and then all the hoops and try hoops and things that you have to jump on because it was hard and it was like laborious, and like life is hard, so it's more rewarding. Of course, like humans, as we as humans are designed that if something is hard to achieve, the high that we get after achieving is way higher. It's the nature of the human, right?
Yeah, but I don't think I don't think hardship on just the social part.
Of course not. But I'm harboring of what these people are like thinking they want to recoup. They want to recoup that because that was part, and that made the actual achievement of what you actually are making in the whatever activity that you're trying to make it higher because of that added hardship. But that added hardship is unnecessary. It was a result of the technology of the time. It was a result of the tools that we have in the time, right? It's like,
but it is not only that.
Yeah,
I really think it's something that changes the older you get. Like,
yeah,
you will never be able to recapture
never
the exciting of a teenage boy
never
talking to strange people through a game in the internet.
Yeah, and it's the same argument of like, what is more satisfying, if I want to build a house with my own two hands, or just like get some actual people that have built a house before and like kind of direct them of the house that I want. And it depends from person to person what it will make you feel more satisfying, right?
It changes from person to person for sure, but I think more than that is just an age thing. Like,
yeah,
like really, now that I'm 30 years old, I don't want to be talking to strange random people on the internet. I don't like.
Yeah.
Like, I remember that being exciting when I was a teenager.
Yes. Going to random messenger chats and knowing people and like
quote unquote getting to know people on the internet.
Now there is a thing that I was thinking about. It was like, yeah, it's the same thing. Now they have like video roulette.
Yeah, but that's and that is exciting for teenagers.
Yeah, exactly for that. In this case, like now that's the modern example that you can take. Like now you have video roulette,
or all those
whatever
teenagers do. It is absolutely geared to them. It's not. Yeah, I wouldn't be doing that now.
Like you and me are super happy with our social interaction in World of Warcraft and the guild and the way that they're running and what do we have to do or not.
Yeah,
We are
they're like,
super happy.
they're all grown up.
We participate as much as we can. We interact with the majority of the guild raid teams, of the guild raid team members. It's a fun experience all the time. We make friends. I consider, like now, I consider my great daddy a friend. The same with Sin.
Oh yeah, no,
yeah,
completely.
Yeah,
like they're really nice people. I consider them friends.
Yeah, there you go. We already did new friends. We made new friends.
Yes, it's not that I don't want to meet new people. I just
And like recently, I was thinking like, oh yeah, we've been joking in the chat about going to certain places to eat stuff because we talk about food and random stuff on the chat, and I was like, oh, it'd be super nice to make like a raid team reunion in like a couple of years and take drinks. I will go for sure. If I can, I will go, man. If they decide to make a in real life raid team guild kind of like party reunion, something like that.
A guild meetup? Sure.
Yeah. There you go. You made new friends, so I don't know what is the problem.
I'm not saying that I don't want to make new friends.
Yeah, no, but like that's the argument of this article.
I'm saying that I don't want to jump to a stupid hoops of getting to talk to random people on the internet to do it. I want to have more agency in the way that I do things.
Correct.
Because one way or another, we are grown-ups.
Yes, that is true.
You really do appreciate the agency and control that you have for your social interactions when you're an adult. Like, in my opinion, I don't know.
I don't know. It's weird. We on top of that, we're weird people. Like I always consider myself a person who can make a lot of friends, but like true friends, like they're few. It is a treasure when you find like a person.
That is true for most people.
Yeah, and like that's something that you recognize with age, with experience, etc. Because when you're little, you have like a bunch of friends, that people that you consider friends, but they're really more acquaintances than something else.
When you're a teenager, you're still figuring shit out.
Yeah.
That's normal.
Yeah. So there you go. Anyways.
And even if I still have shit to figure out, I don't want to. I'm too old for that shit.
let it figure out by itself.
Yeah.
It will eventually come to me.
Happen.
Or not. It doesn't matter.
It really doesn't matter.
Yeah. All right. Any last words for this topic? I think people are just going nostalgic for it. That's it. I think that's my conclusion.
I feel like people just should move away from World of Warcraft if the game is not moving the way that they want.
Yeah.
If they want a game that forces social interactions the way that they want.
Yeah.
Go play EVE Online or something.
Yeah. And please for the developers, always put good social tools in your games, please.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, we have problems with some games that are suffering because they don't have enough social tools on them.
We have the technology.
Yeah, we have the technology.
I was going to say this. I think Warframe would benefit from like changing the recruiting chat.
Yeah.
For a listing system like World of Warcraft.
Yes, I will agree with you. Absolutely.
You'll find, instead of like you've seen.
I've seen the chaos.
Things going on all the time. It would be nice to have a listing of now I can filter the thing. I want to do cool leeches today.
And you appear a list of groups that are doing cool leeches, so waiting to start doing cool leeches. Done. And fixed.
Warframe is way less social.
Because of that.
Even when you get into those recruiting chat groups, barely say hi, and then you expect everyone to know what they're doing.
Yeah. But I think that will give them it's been like a long time since I've opened a recruit chat, and I'll probably be more inclined to do group stuff, specific group activities by myself if there was listing, because I haven't touched recruit chat in a long time, man. Because of that, specifically of that, because it's insanity.
It's a mess. It goes fast.
And it will be, for example, it would be super easy if I want to do some plat. Let's go look for groups that are farming the Addict. Super easy. Barely any inconvenience.
Imagine how nice would it be to idle and fight.
Oh my god! Finally.
Instead of having to filter through all the bullshit in the recruiting chat.
Yeah.
Just have a list of people saying, I need these other roles.
Yeah.
I want to do these many things, and I require these things. And you just have people applying.
Yeah, done. All right, done. I want Ivara or a blah, and I need something with blah and blah. Yeah. or like groups like I don't care. I want to go and I don't fight anyone, and just list it and done. Yeah. And you go and go and do it, right?
I think that would encourage more people to take part into quote unquote harder stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I absolutely agree with that. Absolutely.
And it will make a lot, like, you definitely don't have to do it because the game still has matchmaking for everything.
Yeah. Yeah, correct. Yeah.
But for, like, if you say, I want to go and farm this specific mission, we're farming for this specific thing.
Yeah.
You can make your own pre-made group that has all the little things.
The specific things that you want and do it and post it, yeah.
And if people don't want to do it, you can still just say, mission, and you get matchmade.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I think it'll benefit. I really hope Warframe will do something like that.
More options are better, I think is the thing, right? And for final things on the docket, there was a comment here in the Destiny community saying that, both Destiny and Warframe have fleet of dead ships encroaching on our respective universe. Much luck to our 10 of fellows and our guardians. And I find it compelling about these two games have this approaching big event that's been hype for a certain amount of time. So my conversation here goes to the way of how do you deliver on this big event kind of things correctly and in a satisfying way after giving all this pre-hype stuff? And if you have experience game that successfully does it, please let me know, and we will see what is the best way to do
it. So both Destiny and Warframe have a fleet of dead ships encroaching on our respect. By that do they mean Scarlet Spear?
Yes, by that they mean the invasion of the.
They're not dead ships. I completely
disagree. Kind of we have a war coming in with a lot of
I know, but
yeah, there you go.
But the sentients are the complete opposite of that. They're sentient.
Well, we don't know what the F shadows are of the darkness is.
I'm not talking about Destiny because I don't know anything about the new one. But
yeah.
Again, I think Warframe had the right idea.
Yeah.
Because it was a social thing, with a social goal.
Yeah.
And it was a collaborative effort, and that's the right idea. It's just that the implementation was poor.
Correct. So it didn't feel as impactful as it should.
It just felt. It's not that it didn't feel impactful.
Yeah.
It's just that it felt bad because you wouldn't get the reward.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So my argument, at least for Scarlet Spear, as I mentioned it before, was not. I think the idea and the concept of the event was the right one.
Yeah.
Because it was, we'll have this big flotilla of dozens of people trying to kill 100 ships in one go, in this window of 3 hours.
Yeah.
And it's a collaborative effort. You can see what everyone is doing.
Yeah.
You see how many missions are on Railjack. You see how many missions on ground are running. You see how
you go and
fast
experiment, and you see the big ships and fight the little
you see
ships.
how fast everything is going.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
happening in real time.
Yeah.
On the little thing, you could see all the people that are taking part on that specific strategy.
Yeah.
So it had like that social component of, oh, I can see all the people taking part in this at the
Yeah.
same time.
Yeah.
So I think that helps to that helps the delivery of a big event,
Yeah.
because just seeing a lot of people taking part makes it feel big.
Correct. Yes. It makes it feel. Yeah.
It was just playing with bugs, and the bugs affected the rewards, and that just
Affected the perspective of the whole
yeah,
event. Yeah. Yeah.
it was the right idea. It was the execution and how buggy it was that brought it down.
Fair enough. What about if we accompany these big events by changing stuff inside the rest of the game?
I don't care about that, and I've said it before. I don't think it's that important.
And like my point is, my intention goes that everybody across all the stages where they are in the game feel like there is something going on different. That would be my intention on doing that, right?
I don't think that is necessary.
Why?
Why would you want a mastery rank one player care about that?
Well, it would be interesting. He will say, "Oh, there is something weird going on," and he will
Yeah,
check. And
but again, this event, for example, Scarlet Spear was
yeah,
not designed at all for rank one players.
I know.
So why would so you go out checking and like, oh, I don't get it. There is a lot of lore behind this that I don't know. I don't understand what's going on. It's just stuff going on.
I just
It takes away all the impact.
I just wanna pique the interest of the low level
Yeah,
player. That's it.
but I think that has the opposite effect. It's like, oh,
Really?
something is going on. I don't know, why should I care about it. Like, if you don't know the lore of the game, Scarlet Spear means nothing to you.
Yeah.
If you don't know that the Lotus was gone, Scarlet Spear means nothing. Like, that cinematic at the beginning when she's talking and activates all the things. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, she got control. Yeah. If you haven't experienced the game, doesn't matter.
So
it's just a thing happening.
So you're not like you don't like to affect the rest of the game.
It depends.
Just to have a layer.
It depends how. And like, Scarlet Spear was designed as a like lore heavy
event. Yeah. All right.
So if you don't know the lore of the game, if you haven't experienced the lore of the game, it doesn't. Why do I care about the road invasion? It's more enemies. It loses all the impact. Like,
you think it loses all? Yeah.
Of course, it like right now, part of the impact is, we know that in the Earth we only find Grenier enemies.
Yeah.
And now it makes sense that, it is an invasion, so we are getting all the sentient enemies. And we are getting new sentient enemies that we have never seen before.
Yeah.
So it feels like something new. Like, if you don't have that idea in the background of your head, it's just, it's more enemies, things to shoot.
Yeah.
It just it's not the same. You know what I mean?
All right. What about Destiny?
I haven't really experienced any big event in Destiny.
You haven't even experienced a big event in Destiny. Like, in theory, how they should do it. How they should do this big darkness, end of days kind of event. For you, how can they make a successful like big event in Destiny 2?
I have no idea. I don't care.
What would you imagine that it will be like? Get like random enemies get transformed into darkness, or like changes in the environment, or like
I think the darkness concept is stupid to begin with, but sure.
It's just an example, man. We're just.
I'm trying to think. I think of the enemies becoming darkness. Oh, it's so cheesy and so.
I know, right? But still. And then you have a new system when you can become a dark guardian and like get dark powers.
What's the meaning of that?
I don't know. That's the concept.
What are dark powers? Like
I don't know. Different kind of powers that are based on the darkness. The darkness.
That doesn't mean anything. It's just so stupid.
Come on. We're trying to blue sky it here.
I don't know. Give me an example of an event in Destiny 2. I don't know.
All right, let's see. For example, one in a small scale is when the moon has started to get like invaded by the Vex. Where there were random Vex portals and there were more Vex enemies in the moon that they weren't supposed to be there, and you have random Vex portal opening through all different territories of the moon.
Sure, yeah.
We're talking like something like that with like something like that through all the Destiny.
Sure. Why not?
Will that feel like a big event, impactful? Like when you get like random portals opening in the middle of a mission, or like if you're in a planet, you will get random darkness portals opening.
Sure.
And with mini objectives and that sort of stuff, and that will deliver the big content, and then you ramp that up to a big raid against the darkness or whatever.
Sure, why not?
Right?
Yeah.
How we have successful, like I was thinking about the big event for the Anchorage raid. Was that successful as a big event delivery?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're a lot of players. I think the most fundamental thing is like having the social interaction with the event kind of from the middle point of the game onwards, from the middle players onwards, is important in the involvement of the activity, right?
It depends. Like I think what it makes it successful, if you want to make it feel big, is that you can see like an accumulated progress. Towards that specific goal.
Yes.
So that one was like the whole Anchorage things. Well, it was like you could see the progress of all your faction putting things toward a goal, and you'll see a competition between the two factions.
Yeah.
And you will know what things to. Oh, so now I have to go out and do these dailies and go and hand these things to NPCs, and you will see the progress, and you will say, "Oh, I contributed to a greater goal." But you see how much you contributed. You see the overall progress of the thing going on.
Yeah. I think that's important.
Makes it feel big more than just having things popping out here and there.
Fair enough. All right. That was.
I think that the popping out things here and there, sure.
Yeah.
But that's not what makes it feel big. It's more like seeing the like your contribution. How does it affect the
overall thing? The
overall goal and the whole.
How the community has been involved in the progress.
That's what makes it feel big.
That's exactly what I was thinking about. Like that's what they should do if they want this big darkness stuff to succeed in Destiny 2, to pay off at the end. Hopefully they will do something like that, and I think with that we'll close the deep dive. Right?
Sure. Yeah.
Hopefully Destiny makes it, and we have more big events. Big events are always exciting.
They are, but they have to really
correctly, yeah.
In a small dose.
Yes.
Not to diminish the impact that they have.
Correct. All right, now we move to our audience questions and feedback. Remember that you can write us down to our email, write us down to our Twitters, write us down to the channel Twitter. You can go down and to my streams and ask me questions about the podcast, and I will happily answer here. You can communicate whatever you want. If you have our cell phones, you can call that. You can send text messages, whatever you want. So, our first question of today is, what is the best soundtrack of any game that you guys have played?
Age of Mythology.
Age of Mythology. What, big orchestral?
I love the background music of that game.
Man, Grim Fandango for me. I love the jazzes with like Mexican kind of like music. I love that.
Age of Mythology.
Yeah, for you, Age of Mythology. What kind of soundtrack is that? I haven't played that. I don't remember. Maybe I have played it.
Just the background music while you're playing the missions.
Yeah,
it's so good. It's so soothing. It's a mix of like soothing music with like a hint of mystical.
Nice.
I like it. I like the Age of Mythology music.
Nice. Very, very cool orchestral work. For me, Grim Fandango, the jazzy with the noir kind of Mexican themes is like fantastic. Like I find that soundtrack very cool. All right. So in a second question of today, should it be a polite way given by the game to put in if you want to carry people or if you want a certain level of skill in your groups? Talking about the carrying problem that we have last podcast. So it should be like a button or something where you said, I don't want people to be carry in my group. And should that be given in more games?
Maybe and maybe not.
All right.
Again, if it is, this all is solved with the like looking for group listing system.
Yeah.
If you're blindly matchmaking into a group, you get what you get. That's it. You're rolling the dice, baby.
Yeah.
But if you are putting a group together, like a pre-made group together with like a listing system, like an LFG system.
Yeah.
That is not matchmaking. It's just an LFG.
Yeah.
You get to make your group however you want.
So should more games give you the option of have a listing for exactly what you want in a group?
I don't see why not. So you are the leader of the group. You put the restriction that you want, and it is on your hands to filter out the people that you don't want to group with.
Yeah. So I think the answer is again yes. Game developers should give you as many tools as they can for social driving experience in your games and how to control them.
Yeah, but I think like a listing system solves that problem for most of the game.
Yeah, and having both, and like I mean, you should have both. You should have auto fill in and listing systems.
Oh yeah, no, like I'm not saying that you should get rid of the matchmaking system that the games have. It's just that when you're pressing matchmaking, you're just rolling that dice, baby. Like
and but that should always be an option. Like if you would just want matchmaking, no matter what happens, yes. But if you want a specific group,
a lot of people will prefer that because they don't want to go through the hoops of appealing to someone. You know?
Exactly.
So matchmaking should always be an option, but you get what you get. But if you really care and you're that picky player who I only want people with experience.
Yeah.
Just give them a listing system where like the game shouldn't take care of that.
Yeah.
If the player really cares that much, you just give them the tools to.
But you should give them the tools. Yeah.
Pause the list, and it's on your hands to filter out the people.
Yeah, but I think the point is like developers, if you have a game where there's a lot of things that you have to do with more people, please give them as many tools as you can. Especially,
I really don't think it's as many. I think having a listing system and a matchmaking system
should be minimum.
Enough.
Should be enough.
Not minimum, but it's enough. Like it's really enough for most cases. Like what else do you want?
Yeah, a guild system that would be the next thing, and that's it.
Yeah, but like if we think about it, like guild systems are kind of outdated because a lot of what the guild system provides in a game is what Discord servers are now.
That is true.
So it's not that they're completely obsolete. Like they have a place because you give them like in-game specific rewards and those
and
things,
like the little name that you're part of a guild to identify and whatever.
Cool. But like a lot of the social hub place that the guild clan has is being shifted to other places. So in that sense, it's kind of archaic. It existed before because it was just convenient to have in game. But maybe nowadays those things should be reevaluated. We have tools. Times are changing. Like that Discord overlay or any games, very convenient.
Yes.
Like if you really think about it, like WoW has a in-game voice chat.
Really? Does it?
Yep.
Oh my god, I didn't know. I never engaged with that. Yeah.
But it has an in-game voice chat.
Cool. Interesting.
Yep.
Nice. Good for them.
And like, sure, it is. I mean, it is a thing that a lot of people would expect, and it's fine that it's there for people who don't want to use Discord.
Correct. Fine. Yes.
It's another option. I'm not saying they should take it away.
Yeah.
But if you really think about it, and even for Destiny, like a lot of the social part of Destiny happens outside Destiny. Even with the whole, they have the clan thing stuff.
Yeah.
But the social interaction happens in Discord channels.
Correct. Correct. The social building happens more in Discord than anything else.
So maybe it should be reevaluated the position that clans / guilds / these things have in games.
Well, there is always a drive to identify yourself inside the game as part of a guild.
Sure, sure. I know that, but it's not the social hub anymore. More than just
in that I agree.
It is just to show your tribal affiliation.
Yes, correct.
That's all there is to that.
But there is always a drive to want people to show their tribal affiliation.
Sure. Sure, there is, but I don't know.
Like, anyways, we should live in tents and be tribal and stuff.
No, we shouldn't.
All right, that's it.
Tribalism is bad.
Okay.
That's all for this week's episode. Once again, thanks for tuning into The Sweaty Farmer and the Game Design. My name is Lucho, and you can find me on Twitter at LuzGPolanco.
And I am the Long Name Gamer, and you can find me on Twitter at the Long Name Gamer, and on Twitch on twitch.tv/LongNameGamerTV, where I stream Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Don't forget to share, like, subscribe, tell everybody that you're listening or watching to this wonderful, wonderful podcast, and we are being extremely informative and entertaining, and that we make your life better, and that we're the best things that ever happened to your ears. And support the Sweaty, the Farmer, and the Game Design. See you next time. Bye. And did you know? I thought many prefer not to. All the watermelon, including the rind, can be eaten. And watermelon has been known as a natural Viagra due to his citrus content. So if you're horny, you can go to watermelon for your passionate night. No?
No. Watermelons are 92% water, making them a perfect refresher for those hot summer months. The heaviest watermelon to date was grown by Guinness World Record holder Chris Kent on Sevierville, Tennessee.
Sevierville. Yeah.
Sevierville, Tennessee, in 2013. The Carolina Cross, it weighed in at 350 pounds.
Jesus.
And to give some perspective, that is equivalent to an NFL lineman.
So like a big muscle dude.
A big buffy guy.
Just, that's how much in kilos? Well, we were kilos like what? 98 kilos, dude? 100 kilos, dude? You don't take? Man, who will eat that watermelon?
160 kilograms.
And if you eat all that watermelon, would you get like a forever erection?
It's not how it works, but
but they say that it's like Viagra, dude. It's like Viagra, dude. No? No, you don't get horny from eating watermelons?
If you're getting horny from eating watermelons, go together.
Next passion night, I will take a watermelon and see what happens.